Right on with today's challenge, because if you're thinking of buying any sort of tech in the next 12 months, whatever you're expecting to spend on it, you're going to love what Susie and I found out in this week's amazing challenge.
We're talking about ways of potentially saving you loads of money.
Yeah, we're talking bucket loads, quite literally. I mean, I worked out that if you converted all the money we're going to save you on your gadgets in the next 12 months, based on what we found out in this item, into 2p's, and you put them into buckets, you could fill exactly 17.8 buckets full.
Did you really do that?
No, I didn't. No.
Right, I think we should stop talking and show you exactly what we mean.
On the morning of the challenge, Jason and I were told to meet in London's West End. We knew our challenge would be something to do with shopping, but beyond that, we'd been left to guess.
Normally on a programme, the woman would go, yay, shopping. But I don't know anybody that shops more than you.
I don't know anyone that goes, yay, shopping. Apart from maybe cheerleaders.
Then came the envelope that would reveal all.
Our challenge was to buy as many gadgets as possible from our list of 10, with just £1,000.
Oh.
But remember, we're not looking for cheap tat.
Nice use of the word tat.
Yeah.
Your gadgets need to be as high-end and cutting-edge as possible. Big bonus points will be awarded for quality.
Bonus points!
Yay!
I can only buy new gadgets.
And I can only buy second-hand gadgets. Yes, a distinct advantage.
But I had a hunch that buying new would give me the advantage. While fuel bills, food bills and, well, pretty much everything bills are going up, the price of new gadgets is coming down.
I'm going to get loads of brand new tech really cheaply, so you're going to have a nightmare in this challenge, I think.
You're forgetting one thing, Susie P, eh? The old interweb. It's great for second-hand goods. It is the, the equivalent of what, markets were like when I was a kid.
Yeah, but it's also really great for new tech.
She's good, she is good. And when she gets riled, she's also quite sexy, a little bit like when you poke an otter. It's all shiny and healthy, but it goes like that. It's quite sexy. Is that just me?
Looking for second-hand bargains, my first stop on the internet was obvious. eBay.
It's a great place for virtually brand new technology at discount prices. Oh, look. There's a Fuji Fine Pix. Oh, and a Nikon Coolpix 5400.
But these days, most auctions are decided in the last few seconds, as seasoned eBayers submit a flurry of bids in the dying moments. But there is a way to come out on top.
You might want to think about using something called a piece of sniping software.
Sniping sites submit your final killer bid automatically right at the end of the auction. If you win, then you pay them a very small commission on your purchase.
So I'm going to go to a website called eSnipe. It uses such software, and it should furiously bid for me in the last few seconds without going beyond the limit I set.
Meanwhile, I'd been comparing prices. In a recent survey of price comparison sites, the Gadget Show found that Google Shopping is top, giving the cheapest prices for 8 out of 10 of our favourite gadgets. So I headed straight there.
This is really making me realise just how difficult this challenge is going to be for me this week. To buy everything at the cheapest price on Google Shopping is going to cost me £1,400. Remember, we've only actually got £1,000 to spend.
So I'm going to have to look harder and shave money off those prices wherever I can.
Oh, I've got a Nintendo Wii games console here, £179.99. Might not sound like an amazing price, but what's great about that is I haven't got to buy a bundle of games that I don't want, which would normally cost me over £200. So I'm going to get it.
I bagged my first gadget. Just 9 more to go.
I still had nothing. Time to call on my fellow geeks. Tech forums are a great place to look, as many have classified ads, and the guys selling second-hand here are usually uber early adopters who deal in top-end kit.
I found a guy here called Lesbians Are Great. Fantastic. Who's selling a black iPod video 30 gig for 70 to 80 quid. That's great.
You can easily message each other on forums, and I instantly got a reply.
Yes, there's a reply, look. 75 quid, Susie P. 30 gig iPod video. Beat that.
So that made it 1 gadget each.
While Jason got into a chat about KD Lang or something, I found a great website to pick up a bargain. Tesco's online clearance store. Supermarkets buy stuff in such large amounts that when they update their line, they're almost bound to have something of the old line knocking around which they need to shift.
Let's have a look at a laptop.
Oh! I've sniped a Nikon 6-megapixel camera.
How much?
55 quid!
That's a really good price.
Put my gun against the wall. Get back to work.
After just a few hours, I'd got 3 gadgets, all for less than half of my £1,000. Things were looking up.
I'd only got a camera and an iPod so far, but of my money, I'd only spent 130 quid. The challenge was far from over.
Remember, Jason and I were set the task of buying 10 core gadgets for £1,000. And while Jason starts talking, I'm going to hold up this piece of paper so you can check them out.
OK, so Susie had to buy brand new stuff, whereas I was challenged with finding second-hand goods. And the important concept to bear in mind here is that we had to find desirable pieces of technology, the sort of gadgets that we'd be happy to recommend that you or anyone else buys.
Yeah, so we'd already begun with a little bit of web surfing and bagged ourselves some bargains, but now it was time to hit the high street.
In Japan and South Korea and most other Asian countries, the big cities have famous electronics markets where thousands of stores piled high with cutting-edge tech compete to sell them at the best price. There's nothing on that scale in the UK, but we do have our own little electric town in central London. It's called Tottenham Court Road.
Along a stretch of just over a kilometre, there's 35 tech shops, and it's reputed to be the best shopping street for computers and electronics in Europe. It's fantastic.
There are so many shops down here. I mean, some great big brands that you'd recognise on any high street, but loads of others, independents. And some of those independent retailers sell factory refits or reconditioned equipment, which sometimes can be as good as new. They also do second-hand, if you know where you look. And each and every one of them is desperate to get their hands on my wad.
But nobody was going to touch my wad unless it was for a real bargain. And this might be the place. MBA, one of the many independent shops which sell both new and not so new.
Factory refurb! Technically, that fits into my category. I mean, that's an incredibly low price, £249.
When faulty or damaged goods are returned to the factory by shops or consumers, the factories refit them and they're sold again. But because they are technically second-hand, they can't be sold at full price.
We've also got a special offer on that where you get a free HP printer.
What? You get a free printer?
Yeah.
This is too good to be true. Quick, close it, buy it. Let's go.
Brilliant. 2 more gadgets in the bag. Good spec, dirt cheap, and I even got a warranty.
My first stop was PC World.
You might think that in the big chain stores like PC World that you can't get a bargain. Well, you know what? You'd be wrong. Look at this lot over here.
What you need to look out for are prices ending in a 7 or an 8. Confused? Let me explain.
You know when you're looking through and they've got prices like £22.97 and £22.98, you think, that's a funny number. You'll find that they're normally end of line or they might have slight damage on them. Now, in PC World, they put these big yellow stickers on them. Well, of course, you can ask an assistant for a bargain. Let's just have a plough through here. I'm looking for a printer. £29.97. Now, here's the 7 thing I was just explaining. This is an HP DeskJet printer, absolutely perfect for this challenge. I'm going to take it before somebody else does.
Gadget number 4 secured, just 6 more to go.
In Computer Exchange, you can buy, sell or trade in your games. They also sell second-hand consoles for a pittance.
That PS2, is that for sale?
Yes, it is, yeah.
It's obviously second-hand, right?
It's second-hand, but you get a year's warranty.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good news. Can I have a quick look at it?
Yeah, of course. Give me a second. There you go. A classic machine for 45.
45?
Yeah.
I think this represents great value for money. It's 45 quid, which leaves me free to buy some other kit. And, oh, I don't believe it. Look at that. Listen, come here, look. The point I was going to make, it's got a DVD player in it, right? Secret, just between you and me. Hi, Suze.
Oh, what are you buying? PlayStation 2.
Mine.
Oh, how much was it? 20, 40, 50? 50 quid?
45 quid.
Oh, I've
Beat
just
that.
got a really great printer.
Have you? How much?
Yeah. That's how you...
Was it less than 50 quid?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep, inkjet. HP.
Nice. Inkjet, yeah. Shame you didn't get one for free, Suze. That's all I'm saying. Not want to burst your bubble. That's all I'm saying. It's gone very quiet in this shop.
Do you mean don't want to burst your bubble jet?
Yeah, nice work.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
Don't want to stop you. See you later.
Right, everybody. Sorry about that.
The race was well and truly on.
I'd managed to buy 5 out of my 10 gadgets on the list. It was time for me to leave the mean streets of the West End because I had a date with some PC components.
Hello.
Crash IT is a project set up to provide work and training for homeless and disabled people. They refurbish donated PCs and then sell them on to fund the project.
Show me to your box of tricks, then.
PCs here start at only £20, so for 100 I could get a pretty decent machine.
My budget machine is ready. Look at it. It's fantastic. Great job, Tony. Inside, you know, my processor's all right. But I think what's going to give me the edge in this challenge is I've got a dedicated 64 meg graphics card, which should be OK for sort of basic gaming needs, shouldn't it?
That was gadget number 6, and a Wi-Fi card thrown in, all for £105.
105 quid!
Back in London, I was at Micro and Vika, the UK's largest independent technology retailer. I still had 6 gadgets to go. Time to turn on the charm. You can haggle in a surprising number of shops, so always give it a try. And if you can quote internet prices that are lower, that can help to drive the price down.
You know these Creative Zen MP3 players? Online, you can get them for about £35, and you've got them at £39 here. Would you be able to do them for the same price as the online price?
I can have a look and see.
All right, thank you.
After some serious haggling,
It's a good deal for that camera. It's just not a good deal for my list.
I came away with 4 more items, all for just over 300 quid, including a rather nice PC. It just goes to show, if you don't ask, you don't get.
I still had 4 items to go, including a telly, but I too had a cunning plan.
You'll find auction houses up and down the country having lost-in-transit auctions like this, essentially a collection of goods that have been lost as they're moved around the country. The only problem is there's no guarantee. So I could buy a telly here today, get it home, it might not work. But I guess that's also the excitement. Anyway, it's starting, so excuse me. I'm just going to practice.
I'd had a good sniff around before the bidding started, and I'd spotted Lot 15, a rather sexy-looking 32-inch LCD TV. Just what I needed. All I had to do was wait for my lot to come up.
So exciting.
All too soon, the TV was being announced, and the bidding had started.
160?
I had to get this telly, and get it cheap.
No, gotta go. 335, well played.
I bought it. I was asking where the toilet was.
Very expensive toilet break.
335 quid. High five, camera.
15.
Hey, that's cheap.
But I still hadn't completed my list. I had 3 more to buy, so it was back online for me.
Meanwhile, I was still frantically scouring the shops of Tottenham Court Road.
As night fell, we were fast running out of money and time.
Perfect, brilliant.
Sorry, no.
I need 2 minutes, that's all I need.
So, place your bets now, please. Who is the victor of this week's challenge?
Well, we've got all our kit in the studio. Over here is my pile of new gadgetry.
Yeah, and over here is my beautiful pile of nearly new tech.
Yeah, and to judge this challenge, the fairest referee in all the land, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. John Bentley.
Which means I've been forced to wear this ridiculous referee shirt, which makes me look like a refugee from a darts tournament. However, I shall ignore the indignities and concentrate on the realities and details of the judging. But first, I've got to remind you of the point system, which is that you get a point for every gadget you get on the list, but you get a point taken off for every gadget you didn't get. And I'm going to give extra points for things that I think are particularly well-priced or particularly desirable. I'm going to start with Jason's pile. I can see straight away you've got 8 of the gadgets, so that's 8 points.
Yes.
But there are 2 things missing, no PVR, no camcorder, so you lose 2 points for that, which gets us down to 6 points.
Before we've even started, I'm only on 6 points.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's dominated this whole thing by this rather impressive TV. You actually got a good TV, and I'm actually going to give you an extra point for it.
Wow!
I have seen...
No!
Yay!
I'm also going to give you an extra point for this pink radio. 29 quid for that pure DAB radio. It's very good.
Fabulous. And you like the colours?
It's horrendous.
I got black. I just thought, go for the pink.
So, PS2, good camera, iPod, you know, that's a nice classic iPod.
30 gig. Yeah, iPod video. Really pleased about this. Got it online.
Yep.
Bargain. One of the best bargains of the bunch.
Yep, it's only 75 quid. Worth an extra point as well. I think the most impressive thing, though, is probably this laptop, which seems to have really good specifications. It's got webcams, it's got Wi-Fi, it's got 2 gigabytes of RAM, dual-core processor, running Vista, and all for 249 quid, and including a free printer, which actually looks new.
Yeah, it is brand new. The printer's brand new, but because it was given to me free, I think I should be allowed to include it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's supposed to be second-hand.
So I'm going to give you an extra point for the laptop and an extra point for the printer.
Fantastic!
Oh, why?
So,
For the printer?
Fantastic!
6 plus, that makes 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 points, Mr. Bradbury.
Fantastic! Thank you, John.
Damn.
Right, let's go and look at Susie's stuff. And straight away, I can see you've got 8 things, so that's 8 points, but there are 2 missing. I mean, there's no TV, obviously. There's no PVR, so that gets you down to 6 immediately.
Can I stop you there?
Yes.
Obviously, with a budget of £1,000 to buy a 37-inch good quality television would have completely blown my budget apart, and that would have been my only gadget that I would have got. However, I did buy a television tuner. So I can put my TV tuner in here, and because it's got a hard drive, it's also a PVR, so effectively...
That's good, John.
I have actually got a television
very
and a PVR.
persuasive, very clever. And how much did that cost you? That was...
It was like 29 quid or something, I think.
£28.
See?
That is smart thinking.
It is very clever.
So, 10 points.
Yay!
OK.
Why did I open my big mouth?
Though, looking through this, I don't see anything that really stands out. OK, there's a printer, camcorder, MP3 player, tiny one, tiny camera, terrible DAB radio. Nothing special there, but this Wii stands out. I think there's an extra point there for that.
Excellent,
Definitely.
Thank you very much. Yeah, because £179, I didn't have to get the bundle with it, so that was good. All brand new, all warranties.
So, now, so it's 8.
Hang on a minute. Before you come to your final conclusion, I think there might be a bonus point in for my PC, because look, it's really small, it's quite cute, and it's got a 160 gig hard drive. You know, it's quite small. It was quite a good price.
It's a good computer, but I don't think it's as good as Jason's laptop, and I've already been generous with the TV card, so no more points. We're only going to get 1 extra point, so in total 10 plus 1, 11. It's a draw.
Yay!